Hello everyone, this is a storybook about the book titled Just Dudies, The Pursuit of a Happy Human by Raff Suzah. Chapter 7. You're very poor when all you have is money. After a while, Paula stopped crying and had to think what to do. She called the funeral home for Emma and they took care of her. Her husband couldn't stay with her in that sad moment because he had a very important meeting to attend. She was sad about Emma and angry at him. Then she realized she's missed so many things in her life because of work. She couldn't get angry at her husband because she was just like him. Paula was about to leave Emma's house when she saw me on the armchair. We stared at each other for a while. Emma told her the story how she found me. Paula thought for a while, but in the end, she picked me up and took me to her house. "My husband is not gonna like it when he sees you, but I'll keep you anyway, Jasper J," said Paula looking at me. To Paula's surprise, he actually did like me. In Anthony's mind, if Paula had a pet, she would stop thinking about having a baby. When I got into Paula's house, I was astonished. Whoa, what a great place to live, I thought to myself. The place was enormous, very clean, and the backyard was like a forest. There were many trees, green beautiful grass, and even a fountain. Paul and Anthony had that big house all to themselves. This is something I never understood about humans. Why some of them with a big family get to live in a small house, and others with only two people like Paul and Anthony get to live in huge places like this one? Why do some of them have so much while some others have so little? Who decides that? In a moment of thoughts, I remembered one of the nights I was watching television with Emma and there was a human up in the mountain speaking to the sky. Emma said he was reciting a poem. I still didn't understand why he was talking to the sky, but what he said caught my attention. The reality of human society shows that humans desire to live in large homes, but have small families. They get more academic diplomas and less common sense. There is advanced medicine and at the same time, poor health. People travel and know the world, but they do not know their neighbors. Professionally, they grow so well, but this makes them have less peace of mind. They have the greatest knowledge of history through generations, but less wisdom. People work hard and have their schedules full, but little time to love. Technology has brought to them lots of virtual friends, and with it, they waste time for real friends. This planet is inhabited by many humans with little humanity. They use sophisticated watches and do not have time for anything. There is a need to value what is really valuable, to contemplate the beautiful, and learn to make love songs in the middle of the storm. This poem reciting was so beautiful that it made Emma drop some tears down her face. Humans are hard to understand, Jasper J. We want to be seen, but we can't see each other's needs. We want to look strong, but we are so fragile. The more we develop through generations, the less we care about the others. All we care about is money, the things you can buy with it, and the power it gives to you. We shouldn't be the only intelligent race on Earth. Sometimes I think we should be extinct, she said, crying and thrilled. I was confused and I couldn't get my questions answered, but this thing I learned. Even being in constant financial growth, Paula wasn't a happy human at all. She was a woman full of frustrations and bad thoughts in her head to deal with. She could buy anything she wanted, except what she really wanted, happiness. Paula's life was very sophisticated. She had people doing things for her all day long. Humans to cook, drive her wherever she wanted, others to keep her garden beautiful, and so on. She loved to change her hair completely once in a while. There were even humans to take care of me. I was having such a great life. Her house was full of paintings on the wall, sculptures, beautiful vases, and a lot of electronic devices and gadgets. I couldn't understand why Paula felt so miserable and cried almost every night with such a fancy life like that. She rarely saw her husband because he was always traveling for work. Most nights, she used to drink a glass or glasses of wine before bedtime and talk to me, just like Emma used to do, except the drinking part. Most of the time, she talked about how lonely she was and how useless she's become. She also mentioned that she knew her husband was constantly cheating on her, but I never knew what that meant for humans. All I knew was that it made her cry more. She also wanted so badly to become a mom in order to fulfill this loneliness, but Anthony always said no to her. All we know, after a good night of sleep on that nice and soft bed, she would feel better the next day. That was her cycle. However, one day, Paula woke up really sad. I was sleeping at the end of her bed, but she woke me up too. She said, "I'm sick of my life, Jasper J. I look at you and I remember Emma. I don't want to die lonely like she did. I want to travel all the country, see new cultures, and meet new people. Thanks, Jasper J. Thanks, Emma." What the heck's going on? I didn't understand a single word she said, nor what she meant by saying that. All I knew is that she took a fast shower, put some clothes on, got her bag, put me in a crate, and got in the car and drove for hours. That song I heard in Josh's training was playing on the radio. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Maryland, 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 life is but a dream. I still didn't understand the lyric, but I liked the rhythm. We'll get to visit the whole country. We'll even cross borders. We'll travel the continent, she said to me. She wasn't kidding. We went to several cities. The first place was called New York. I didn't like that place at all. There were too many bicycles and too many humans. I felt really scared. Paula wanted to do things she never did before, so she took me to a place called Bar. It was so dark, noisy, and full of humans. I hated that place. She drank different colored liquids. A couple of minutes later, Paula was like another person. She started saying nonsensical things and cried even more. It seemed that the experience made things worse instead of fulfilling her void. The next day, we went back to the car and drove for hours. We got to a place called Massachusetts. That was a beautiful place, but very cold. She went to a bar and had a local beer. She talked to strangers, and it seemed she was having a good time. I thought she was looking for a new husband. Then, when the man she was talking to and laughing at tried to kiss her, she turned her face the other way and began to cry again. She was still feeling that void. There we were, back on the road, looking for things to fill her void. In Montreal, we visited several local attractions and Paula even learned a little of the local accent. Anyway, it didn't help her when she remembered Anthony was her first love and the place he proposed to her was in a mountain town called Montreal. Back on the road, everything she needed she used her card to buy. She was very persistent into finding something to fulfill her void. We were on the road for many days already, and Paula was avoiding Anthony's phone calls. He was worried about her, sending messages all the while, but she never replied. We went to many cities like Toronto, Philadelphia, Washington, Charleston, Jacksonville, Daytona Beach, Orlando, Miami, and so on. We did some things and experienced a lot of stuff. Paula got drunk, hospitalized, arrested, went crazy. She danced, she met nice people, made new friends, she changed her hair, visited very cold places, ate great food, visited beautiful places, stayed in amazing hotels, flew in a balloon, swam with dolphins, went to a zoo and touched a snake, went to theme parks, flew in a helicopter, rode an elephant, bungee jumped, went to a concert, and so on. Whew. However, none of it was the thing she was looking for when she left home. We were 82 days away from home when she woke up one day and said to me, "Jasper J., I'm exhausted. I want to go home. And just like that, we were home. Anthony was there, waiting for her because she called him on her way back home. I thought they were going to have the worst fight ever. Yet, to my surprise, they hugged and kissed each other with a passion that I have never seen before. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I did this, she said to him. I'm sorry too. I worked too hard. I have forgotten you. I don't want to lose you. I miss you, he said. I left home to find something, but all I wanted was here the whole time. I used money to run away from my problems instead of facing them, she said, looking deep into his eyes. I know. I was always busy at work knowing that you'd be home waiting for me. When you left, I felt really bad not having you around. I'm so sorry. I know how much you want a kid. I think I'm ready, he said with a sincere voice. Yes, I do want a kid, but it has to be for the right reasons. I can't expect a child to fulfill the void my marriage left. First, I want to simplify our lives so that we have more time for each other. You know, all the cities I have been and all the things I did were nice, but it would have been a lot better if you were with me. Then Anthony was crying because they were really being honest with each other. He looked at her and said, I have a confession to make. Anthony, I know what you were about to say, she replied quickly. She didn't want him to confess he was cheating on her. Do you? He asked, surprised. Yes, I do. So let's do it, he said, excited. Let's do it? Do what? She asked, surprised. I bought plane tickets for us to visit several cities in the world. We'll go to South America, Africa, Australia, and Asia. That's your confession? I thought you were going to say you were cheating on me, she said, embarrassed. Cheating on you? He asked, surprised. No way, I never did that. I know I have been a lousy husband, but I never cheated on you, said Anthony. Oh my God, you have no idea how happy I am to hear that. Then let's go. I'll go everywhere as long as you are with me, she said very happily. They again hugged and kissed each other. It looked like peace was coming back home. Sometime later, Paula quit her job and stayed home more often. She also joined an NGO, that's how she called it, related to abandoned animals and helped them. I was really happy for her because she changed her life for better. Anthony also worked less and spent more time with us. We all moved to a smaller house and that luxurious life went away. It seemed that they gave up money to get their lives back. On Anthony's vacation, they traveled around the world like he promised and saved money for. Paula wanted so badly to do things with her husband that she didn't take me this time. I don't know the details, but I do know that they came back happier than how they left. A couple of days later, Paula went to the bathroom to do things humans do there, like peeing. I don't know why they need a place like that to pee. The sandbox is so much better. I didn't pay attention because this was a regular thing. Then I heard a loud scream. Ah! It was Paula. I thought she hurt herself. But when I saw she was crying and smiling at the same time, I had no idea what was going on. But then she said, I'm pregnant! I'm going to have a baby! She was really excited. I didn't know what was about to happen with the baby at home, but the environment in the house changed. Anthony was so much more careful with Paula and she loved the attention he was giving to her. They even kind of forgot about me. I mean, she didn't forget to give me food or clean my litter box, but there were no more of those long conversations or patting me before bedtime. The months went on and Paula's belly was growing bigger and bigger. Even feeling morning sickness sometimes, she and her husband were enjoying every moment of the pregnancy. One day, Paula woke up feeling awkward. It wasn't a regular morning sickness. It was a type of pain she never felt. Anthony took her to the doctor, and they were out of home all day long. When they came back, I heard the conversation. Toxoplasmosis? I can't believe our baby got this, Anthony. I checked on the internet. This is a very serious thing. How did this happen? She asked him desperately. I don't know, my love. Well, I have a guess, but I can't confirm, he said. What guess? What's in your mind right now? Please tell me, she insisted. I was talking to Tom, my boss. He told me that cats have this disease and they transfer to pregnant women when they clean their feces, explained Anthony. Cat feces? Well, I have cleaned Jasper's sandbox a couple of times. Do you think it could be this? She asked her husband. It's a possibility, said Anthony. Then he said the sentence I really didn't want to hear. I think it's best to get rid of the cat during your pregnancy. We can get him back after our baby's born. Get rid of me? Really? I didn't do anything. Right now that I thought I found a home? Come on, I thought. But Jasper Jay was my grandma's cat. I don't know how he did it, but we had lots of chats while I was away, and that's when I decided to change my life for better. I can't explain this, but if it hadn't been for Jasper, I don't think I would have taken the first step to change, said Paula. I know, I like Jasper too, but our baby is more important right now. We must start the treatment immediately. We can't take any more risks, said Anthony. Paula was so afraid of losing her baby that even sad and crying, she accepted Anthony's idea. I didn't like that at all, but I had no choice. Anthony took me to the NGO for abandoned animals. I hated that place full of hurt animals. It was a very sad environment. I was put in a cage with some other cats. They didn't like my being there and attacked me. I was constantly wounded because I didn't know how to fight. The humans there used to let us out of the cage for some time during the day, but the place was so ugly and scary. I don't remember how much time I spent there because every day felt like a year. That didn't feel like home at all. It truly made me feel like going back to my street life. The only cat I liked was Lily. We had a great time together, if you know what I mean. She was a street cat for some time, but she got hurt by a human, Hanson Douglas, her owner. Lily said she escaped from him after jumping the window from his house. However, after some days on the street, hungry and wounded, she passed out. The only part she remembered was the moment she was taken to the NGO by a driver. She had a bad problem in her paws so that she couldn't walk properly. She didn't like the NGO either, but that would be the only place for her. No human would want an injured cat, and I couldn't survive a single day back on the street, she said to me. The time kept going on, just like as my horrible routine there. One day, I decided to put an end to those attacks. As I didn't know how to fight, I thought I could surprise them. Lily gave me this great idea. I really liked her. At sunrise, while they were sleeping, I climbed a high shelf over the top of them with a lot of different objects. I wanted to push all those objects off in order to drop them on their heads. I again followed my mom's advice. Whenever doubt comes to your mind, just do it. That's exactly what I did. I pushed the objects with all my strength and dropped them on their heads. The crash was severe, and I made a big noise too. I felt good about doing that. However, one of them saw me on the shelf and ran after me to attack. They were so angry that I thought I was going to die. I ran so much, so fast, and yelled so hard that I was exhausted and lost my voice. Nevertheless, they were still running to catch me. I really thought that was my time to die. Then, when I stopped and decided to face my destiny, I saw an old refrigerator near the entrance gate. I didn't think twice. I entered it, and the weight of my body falling in made the door close. I stayed there in total silence, hoping my attackers wouldn't find me. I was so bushed that my paws got weak. I laid down and couldn't stand up again. I felt weird. My body was getting weaker. I thought about my mom's sickness. It was happening the same to me. I didn't have much time left, and I didn't complete my mom's mission either. Then I heard some human voices talking near me. I wanted to meow, but my voice didn't work. I was even more desperate when the voice I heard was from Paula. Yes, after all the time away from me, she was there talking to the manager trying to find me. I know I put my cat here because of a problem I had. It was all a huge mistake. I need him back, she explained to the manager. What was the mistake? Asked the manager. I'm pregnant, and last month I got toxoplasmosis. Oh my God, said the manager, interrupting her. I know, but my baby and I are fine now. I started the treatment immediately, and we are both healthy now, Paula explained. Thank God, the manager said. Yeah, but I made a big mistake. I thought it was caused by my cat and my husband took him to live here until the baby's born. But my doctor explained that if I keep the cat healthy, he can't transmit the disease to my baby. Besides, he also said that this disease is more likely for people who eat raw meat than from a cat. Indeed, I'm also a big fan of rare meat. My steak is always rare. So, I'm here to take my cat back home. I'm looking for him, but I can't find him, Paul explained anxiously. Okay, I can help you find him. But you know, cats are very agile animals. Sometimes they climb the wall and run away from us. Besides that, now is the part of the day they can walk freely around the NGO, the manager said. Oh my God, let's look for him now, said Paula. I was sad that Paula and Anthony put me in there, but I was happy she wanted me back. I tried to mail for her to hear me, but I couldn't. Oh boy, I was so bushed. So, to make things worse, I heard the doorbell. It was Nelson. He was the handicapped man who used to do the maintenance of some appliances there. Good morning, boss, said Nelson to the NGO manager. Hi, Nelson. I'm very busy right now because I need to find this lady's cat. But this is the refrigerator you need to fix. The motor stopped working and the door, once closed, doesn't open anymore. You can take it to your workshop. I really have to go now, explained the manager. Then he took Paula and started walking around to find me. Okay, boss. You know you can count on me, said Nelson. Then I heard a teenager's voice. Dad, can I put this in the pickup truck? Said to him. Yes, Chris, I'll help you, Nelson said. Even having infantile paralysis, Nelson was a hard-working man. He worked fixing appliances in his old and dirty workshop. Chris was his teenage son, and they lived together. Nelson's wife died years ago, and he had to take care of Chris alone. Without knowing, they put the refrigerator I was in on an old and smelly pickup truck and took me to their workshop.